Antonio Brown to the Raiders? Bro, okay. So, sorry, that's the Madden game in the background. So I just got back from watching Captain Marvel, alright? And, well, I mean, I got, obviously the news happened before I watched this, but, the movie. But now I'm just kind of, like, thinking a little bit more. Anyway, this fool Antonio, he straight up literally, like, forced, like, pretty much, like, demanded a trade. And literally, like, apparently the Steelers only got, like, a 3rd and 5th round pick just from the Raiders, just to give away Antonio Brown, and apparently Antonio Brown got a big ass bonus for this. Bro, this fool is literally like chasing that money, and I already made a video about how athletes are chasing checks and stuff like that. Now, the sad part is people are actually like defending Antonio for trying to take like so much money, saying, because there was an interview of saying like, man, I'm the one putting in the business for y'all. I don't even need football, you know what I mean? Or like, and I'm like, okay. Now, that is, obviously true. You don't need football. You don't, like, you literally could retire right now, and you already, you know, like, have money in your bank. You know what I mean? And, tell you the truth, that goes for a lot of, like, famous athletes and stuff like that, because they would honestly, like, be wealthy enough to, like, you know, like, pretty much retire, honestly. But I'm just saying, man, a fool like this guy and all that stuff, and I'm speaking in NFL terms, that's like ruining your career right there. You're literally telling people that you're only just doing it for the money, and like you don't really give a shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, which I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I try to be open-minded on something that I kind of understand that, like, you know, like these professional athletes, football players, they're, you know, like putting their health and bodies on the line where they could, like, you know, get injured, tear the ACLs, and like I can kind of see why, you want, you know, hella money and stuff like that, especially like if you're a good player. But like some of you people that say like, oh well, he's a freaking businessman, and obviously if his like talent is needed for the business, then they should be willing to pay him money, which I get. But dude, this fool is like, what, like, I mean, 30 years old, and like I mean, don't get me wrong, like that's not a terrible age, and Antonio Brown's the best receiver in the league. But like, dude, teams kind of need to now focus on young ones, just because like they can like have you much more longer, you know what I mean? And because, you know, like they're not going to be expecting giant ass contracts and stuff like that, you know what I mean? I mean, well, you know, Odell Beckham and stuff, but like still, I mean, and not only that, Antonio Brown, like, don't get me wrong, he doesn't get a say on what team he's going to go to, but since it's a trade, obviously, but with the freaking Raiders, bro, I mean, I'm pretty sure Raiders fans are going like ballistic when they found out they got Antonio Brown, the best receiver in the league. But it's just, they're going to just realize that this is just going to be another wasted system. Dude, honestly, he's going to freaking just nonstop like cause problems, to throw tantrums on the sideline, argue with John Gruden. Pretty much like how when Raiders fans got happy they got Randy Moss and then didn't work out well, you know what I mean? It's just going to be another same bullshit story if I'm telling you the truth. But other than that, now besides this Antonio Brown thing, I saw Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was a great movie. Pretty decent, honestly. Like, I'd say it's a good. Other than that, I don't know what else was more after that. Well, nothing much. But, well, I was going to comment that, so this upcoming weekend is actually, this next week is a St. Paddy's Day, which I think is kind of like funny how St. Paddy's Day is literally like the one time of the year where people actually are okay with culture appropriation, you know what I mean? Now, don't get me started on that subject. That's already like a BS, how like everyone's like complaining about culture appropriation this, culture appropriation that, yada, yada, yada. Okay, like, bruh, half the time it's not even disrespecting. It's the fact that like it's actually respecting in any case, because like it's like me like saying like, hey, I kind of like what your culture has, so let me just like try to represent. And I don't mean it to insult. I just mean it because I like it. You know what I mean? Heck, if I'm Afghan, but if I want to wear a poncho, I'll wear a poncho. Who are you to tell me I can't? You know what I mean? And like if I wear a poncho because I like it, then yeah, it's not disrespecting. I mean, it's a culture appropriation isn't bad that you guys like think. But whatever, y'all. It's whatever. But hey, I mean, you know, a bunch of white girls out of nowhere is gonna become Irish all of a sudden on next weekend. But whatever. All right then, y'all. That'll be it.